Hey Lunar, how's it going? This is our second session working together. First time we talked a little bit about habits and then creating a routine and structure. So with that in light, what would you like to work on today?
I guess focusing on what is the habit structure, because it's easy to say like I need to work out more or I need to eat better, and that's a good place to start, but it feels really vague
Mm,
in that there are a lot of steps to be taken within those goals to actually make them a reality rather than just New Year's resolution, I'm going to do the thing without actually planning for it.
right. What I heard you say was the word vague, right?
Hmm.
Um, I and correct me if I'm wrong. So what I'm hearing is when you have a goal that is specific, you find that it's more likely for you to succeed in that. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. So then today, that's something that we can definitely work on. We'll make it specific. I think that's a great quick identifier. So, what outcome would you like to see? Like, let's not look at a particular habit yet, but by the end of today's session, let just, if it is just a hypothetical habit, what would you like to see about it happen?
You're saying what would the end goal of my
Yeah,
habit
what would you
be?
like to see
Or
happen with a habit?
I guess just having a more intentional and structured day rather than it just being impulsive.
Mm, okay. Intentional, and what was that second word?
Rather than impulsive.
Rather than impulsive, intentional. Okay, I love that. So, what does impulsive look like to you?
Kind of living at the whim of what my subconscious is wanting. Like, I want a crunchy snack, so I'm just immediately going to go and find a crunchy snack. Or when I wake up, my brain is like, I don't want to do anything yet. You just woke up. Let's do nothing. Let's lay on the couch and scroll through short form content until it's work time. And so then I end up laying on the couch at 6 a.m. with a crunchy snack, scrolling through short form content for 2 hours.
So, what I'm hearing is through intentionality, you would be able to sort of avoid those things that get in the way, those obstacles that sneak up on you that are going against what your intentions are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. So, then let's dive into some habits. What's something you'd like to work on in particular?
I guess a good first start for me would be avoiding the crunchy snack rather than having like an actual meal to eat breakfast.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is in right now, those crunchy snacks are kind of sneaking up on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm having for breakfast rather than something that is, healthier and actually going to benefit me for the day.
Okay. Awesome. And what would you like to, let's be specific. What would you like to replace the crunchy snacks? Give me some examples.
Something with like just a bit more nutrition to it that isn't just empty calories. A lot of like saturated fats and way too much salt that early in the morning is just spelling disaster. And so I've been thinking of what is something that is healthy and good for a breakfast for a lazy person who really doesn't want to be cooking that early in the morning.
Okay. And how has that worked for you so far thinking about this or trying to do it?
There is kind of the prep work part of it in having the things you need for a healthy breakfast that I haven't quite gotten to because I haven't decided on the breakfast. I think there is a lot of power in eating the same thing every single morning just because it can become very automatic, but I haven't quite found that. But while I know I want more and I want myself to not be just reaching for the easiest, unhealthiest thing, I find myself in the middle, which is I'm going to have water for breakfast.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is it sounds sort of like when you're faced with these choices, it sounds to me like there's almost an interruption, and that, again, to take it back to what you said, through intentionality, it would create order and sort of focus and will in what you want it to look like.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Okay,
I'm
want to
like
make sure we're
stuck
on
at a
the same page.
crossroad of stuck at a crossroad of indecisive.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. And so if right now it's if we're indecisive, if we get to a place where it's like I am going to do this, this, and that, it takes away any indecision. All right.
Mhm.
Perfect. We're on the same page. That is spectacular. I want to start off by saying that this is a common trap that people fall into is not being clear on what they want. And so I want to commend you for coming in here and you're like, here's what I want, and I want it to be clear. I think that that's going to set you up for success. So really, really good job starting off here. And so this might be a little bit of an aside. However, I'm really curious, how important is it to you that breakfast gets straightened out?
See, it's like in terms of things I'm working on, it's pretty up there on my list. I know that when I do have a good breakfast, I do perform much better throughout the day. I
Mm,
don't find myself wanting to fall asleep at 2 p.m. I can focus on my work. I can stay focused on my work and not succumb to the loads of distractions that come throughout the day. And it just makes things move a lot more smoothly, all just because I ate something that wasn't trash at 6 a.m.
okay, yeah. So then, if I'm reframing this, today our conversation is going to lead to um, more intentionality with breakfast, more organization, which will get rid of indecisiveness. And then once that starts happening, your whole day is going to be better. You're going to make snappier decisions and you're going to feel a little bit better. Are we on the same page still?
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah, this is sounding really, really good to me. Is there anything else you'd like to sort of add to where we're at? Is there something you feel like is missing?
I think it is a piece of the bigger habit structure that I'm going for.
Okay.
I'm trying to intentionally design my morning so that I can better support myself throughout the day, which does tie into making it easier to get to sleep at night so that I can wake up early to do it again. Um, I figure I've started with waking up earlier than I normally would. Before it would be like I'd wake up 15 minutes before I have to leave or be to work, and that's makes for a chaotic morning. I'm waking up much earlier so that I can ideally eat breakfast, work out, shower, then get to work. And
Okay.
so breakfast is the first part. The next part is the workout.
Okay. Awesome. So what I'm hearing is you actually have a pretty good idea of where you want to be. There's a lot of things you actually want, and you're like, okay, breakfast, this is my step one. How am I doing?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then let's get into it, let's start sort of digging into what time do you want to eat breakfast?
Like 6:15 to like
Perfect.
15 minutes after I wake up.
Perfect. So let's go with 15 minutes after you wake up, because that way, if let's say it's a weekend or a holiday and maybe you sleep in, you'll still be able to meet your goal and it won't feel like you missed something, okay?
Mhm.
We can work on sleep at a future time, but if we're focusing on breakfast, let's just sort of make sleep, take it out of the equation. What is come up with 3 foods you would like to incorporate into your breakfast.
I used to really like oatmeal when I was
Okay.
younger, but I think it's been like 10 years since I've had
Okay.
oatmeal. And then there's the like obvious meal prep option of breakfast burritos. Make like
Okay.
a dozen of them Sunday, and then that's 2 weeks worth of burritos.
Okay.
But then I think like every household has one of those single waffle irons, which is also pretty easy because you can make the batter, and all you have to do is pour it in the heated skillet thing. And then French toast. I love French toast. Like, just it's so fun to make,
Okay.
and it just tastes great. I guess those are like three options I've been thinking of.
Perfect. And do those so I'm going to write this down. We got French toast. We're going to just put meal prep, right? We're going to put that down as just one thing in and of itself.
Mhm.
French toast, meal prep, oatmeal. When you were talking about the oatmeal, you sounded to me, I heard it was like very nostalgic. Like something you haven't had in a while that you kind of missed. Um and you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. And then the last one, I'm missing one. I got French toast, meal prep, and oatmeal. What was that other one?
Waffles.
Waffles.
Do love waffles.
Love it. Awesome. So let's say over the next week or so. Um Now let's narrow it down to two or three. And then eh, or all four, whatever you're feeling. What do you think? How many of these would you want to work on? It really depends on how you're feeling.
I think French toast and oatmeal are probably my best options because I do make my own bread because I'm very lazy and don't want to leave the house to go to the store. So instead of 20 minutes to the store, I spend 3 hours making bread. Um, but then oatmeal just sounds great because it's the same base, but I have spices and seasonings already, so I can change up the oatmeal just for how I'm feeling in the morning. I don't have to commit to just a brown sugar or blueberry oatmeal. It's versatile enough to still be easy, but I can have some variety when my brain suddenly decides that it hates blueberry oatmeal or something.
Yeah, okay. So let's take those and then and this is something you may want to write down or you can remember it. It's whatever works better for you. We are going to develop that. We're going to work that into the 15 minutes after you wake up. Let's make sure. Do these foods are they 15-minute friendly? You want to be eating within 15 minutes. Can you make these foods in 15 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, I think oatmeal's pretty fast.
Perfect. Awesome. So then how many days a week are you looking to commit to this?
5, the work week.
Okay, the work week, awesome. And then so are you going to be taking weekends off on breakfast in general and it's just going to sort of be whatever happens with breakfast happens type of thing?
Yeah, I like to
Okay.
leave my weekends just up to fate.
Okay. Awesome. Love it. Yeah, and how's that working for you?
It goes okay. I mean, my weekends tend to look a lot like my weekday, just a little bit later.
Yeah, awesome.
Um,
So yeah, I mean, and if
yeah.
it's working well and if they're like a reflection of the weekday, then that could it sounds like that'd be a great time for you to take a break. Awesome. Um so we have 15 minutes after you wake up. You're going to sort of we're working on breakfast. You're going to get some maybe some meal prepped food, maybe oatmeal, waffles. You're going to get that going. Um how how is this sounding to you as sort of a step 1 to your perfect morning?
I hadn't even considered until now that oatmeal sounded really good, and I kind of missed it.
Nice.
So it's now on my to-do list to get stuff for oatmeal.
Awesome.
Decide on a couple flavors to
Awesome.
have.
Love it. Great. So, let's see. We have for work, we got oatmeal. Was there anything else? I know you're really on that oatmeal. I love that. I can tell that you're like, I'm really stoked about this oatmeal. Were there any of the others that you want to really work on too? Or do you think you're just gonna start with oatmeal?
I think oatmeal just sounds the easiest for
Okay.
now,
Yeah.
and having a habit be really easy
Okay.
makes it stick a lot better for me.
Love it. Awesome. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is easy works well for you, and oatmeal's easy and good. So you're like, that'll work great.
Mhm.
What's maybe an obstacle that will get in the way of you being able to accomplish this goal?
I guess knowing right as I wake up what I'm ready for. Because if I, there's a careful balance between having enough options and being able to make a decision for me. And so I think if I don't prep maybe like 3 ways to prepare oatmeal in the morning, I'm just gonna be decision paralysis back to just water for breakfast. And
Mm.
so a roadblock for me would be preparing 3 different ways to make it.
Okay, awesome. Well, and I love because, I asked, what would be something that gets in your way? And you're like, here's what would get in my way, and here's what I would do to fix it. You're like, I could make these 3 things. You're doing my job for me. I love it. So then, because my follow up to that would be, what are we going to do to make those obstacles not get in your way, right? And you just nailed it, right? You said, you were like, yeah, I really would need to come up with 3 separate prep methods. That way I don't face that again, that indecision paralysis thing that you mentioned earlier, right?
Mhm.
So what are those methods going to be? Let's name them. It doesn't need to be 3, 2, whatever you think works.
I think like just the good standard cinnamon brown sugar sounds really good.
Okay.
Uh, I like strawberries. I could add just like frozen
Ooh, yeah,
strawberries in
yeah,
there.
yeah. That sounds great. You need one more, or do you think you're happy with that?
I'm happy with that. It's yeah, yeah. It's like a different kind of sweet in each one.
Perfect. Yeah, awesome. So what I'm hearing is, again, we're just recapping. What I've heard was that you're like, okay, we're going with oatmeal, and then you're like, something that might get in my way is again that indecision thing. However, if I am able to solve that with, some strawberries, some cinnamon sugar, something like that, it'll work out better. Less more likely to succeed, right? How am I doing?
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. Awesome. So what is something else that might get in your way, if anything?
I say myself a lot of the times,
Okay.
but pretty pretty headstrong on this one.
Okay.
So I think at this, it's like just the state of the kitchen. Um, do have a habit of not cleaning up, um, like the pans and stuff we use the night before for dinner until we gotta cook dinner again. So basically, washing pans twice to use them.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm hearing is the obstacle would be like you wake up, you roll out of bed, you're like, all right, I'm doing this oatmeal thing. I'm really excited. We're gonna do strawberries today. And then you see all the pans are dirty that you would have made your oatmeal in, and you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna do that. Is it how'd I do? Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, yeah.
I
A dirty
see.
kitchen kills my motivation
No,
to
and
cook.
that makes a lot of sense, right? I think any of us, we see dirty dishes, we're like, that just added a step to the thing that I wanted to do. Huh, that's totally normal, right? I think that's a really good catch too. Would you like to take any measures or steps to help prevent that from getting in your way?
Yes, kind of working on it in just day to day, trying to be better about while I am just microwaving some spaghettios or whatever, I'll do some of the dishes, clean something while it's microwaving, like a quick 3 minute sprint to get something done. And it's helped. So I think it's a good place for me to start.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to be starting there. So we've added now, we have a couple things. So now over the next week, you're going to start by the night before, kind of just be a little bit more conscious of it. And then of the dishes. Then you're going to wake up within 15 minutes. You're going to grab that oatmeal. And then you're like, okay, here are my options. You're going to make oatmeal and you're going to have a better day. You're going to be more fulfilled and satiated. How are we doing? How are you feeling?
Yeah, that's yep.
Awesome.
Good
Love it.
goal.
Spectacular. Is there anything else that you would like to add to this habit to help make it succeed or to, amp it up?
For me, it helps to start with a plan.
Okay.
And that's a good plan.
Awesome.
So guys, I just add into my head that I need to make sure I have the ingredients for it, and usually do grocery shopping like on Sundays. Just go out and get a few things, and it's like three things. I've always got cinnamon. Brown sugar is notorious for just turning into a brick, so gotta make sure that's fresh. And then oatmeal and frozen strawberries.
Awesome.
Things to add to my mental shopping list.
Awesome. So you're going to start this on Sunday then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Awesome. Love it. So now we have on Sunday, you're going to go shopping for the ingredients. And then starting that Monday, you're going to wake up 15 minutes, that whole thing. I want you to now that we've got a solid plan down, I want you to repeat the whole thing back to me in your words, not mine, what you're going to do.
On Sunday, I'm gonna go and get the ingredients for various oatmeals, and then Monday morning, at 15 minutes after I wake up, I will have made some oatmeal to have a better day. And then as nighttime rolls around and we're done with dinner, I'll make sure the kitchen is in a place where I would be comfortable cooking in it the next morning, especially in a delirious, just woken up state.
Awesome. Love it. Spectacular. Yeah, that sounds like a great plan to me. And how so at the beginning of this, you said I asked you how valuable is this to you? And you were like, it's really valuable because it impacts my day, right?
Mm.
Now that we have this plan and you just said it, okay? How much on a scale of 1 to 10, let's measure it. How much do you think if you get this done every day, how much is this going to impact your day?
I'd say it'd be like a +3 to my day.
Nice.
Like if my day is just a 4 out of 10 all the time, it'll be closer to a 7 out of 10
Nice.
on average.
That's huge, right? For oatmeal, we got from a 4 out of 10 to 7 out of 10. That's an amazing upgrade for the day. That's a
Maybe
big
generous,
win.
but I'm hopeful.
No, I love it. I love it. I mean, breakfast is a big deal, right? And you even said you're like, when I just drink water, it's like my whole day I just feel a little bit, right? Like so, getting this in locks, like I mean, this is spectacular. I think you've really done a great job. And again, if we've and just weekdays, if we took your weekdays and today +3 to them, that's a really awesome 20-minute habit, right? Like spectacular. That's a big win today. So really good job putting in the work today to do this and really dig this habit out of yourself.
Yeah.
I have a question. Have you ever tried this habit in the past? Maybe working on your breakfast in the past?
Not with very much intentionality.
Okay.
It's just been I just woke up and I convinced myself I have to eat breakfast or today's gonna suck. I have to eat breakfast. And so then I resort to just like a singular protein bar or
Mm-hmm.
the chocolate milk and a multivitamin. And it quickly falls apart because I've never given it many legs to stand on. It's always just been me bullying myself.
Awesome. Love it. So this time, what I'm hearing is in the past it hasn't worked, but now with the structure going forward, you're confident that this will work out well.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah, when framed as it's 20 minutes to add to like improve my day by 50%, that's
Yeah,
huge.
that's a big win. I'm
Massive
sure.
return on investment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. No, that's why I'm really excited because that excites me. Like just thinking about the impact that this could have on your life, and then imagine this is a habit that you form over the course of 10, 20, 30 years. If your days are increased by, even if like a 3 is an overestimate, even if it's a half of a point better of a day or 1 point better out of 10,
Yeah.
that scales, right? So this is a huge win today. And no, spectacular job putting in the work. Before we end the session today, is there anything else you'd like to say or anything else that you're like, ooh, you know what, maybe this I should add?
I think just the perspective of it kind of just hit me in that absolute worst case. I know eating breakfast helps me. I know oatmeal is very easy. And if worst case, it improves my day by 1, that is still a 25% better day than I would have had if I don't. And it's so cheap, quick, it's just so easy to improve so much.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I love it. I'm pumped for you. Like, I'm always pumped when we see a win, and when it's easy like this, like your words, you're like, yeah, it's cheap and easy. And that's a win this big. Imagine if all of our wins could be this cheap and easy. We'd be trillionaires and hyper successful, right? So,
Yeah.
no, I'm really happy here. So, hey, spectacular job today, Lunar. Thank you for putting in the work, and thanks for working me up with habits. I've been really excited about this.
Yeah, I have been too. It's been a long awaited conversation.
Awesome. All right, have a good one.